Vance Joy there with Riptide on 94.3 Radio 1. Well, it's that time of the evening to bring on our Radio 1 Superwoman. Here's a lady who wears many hats and wears them equally well. Ex-MP, now social activist, doing remarkable work as trustee of the Nargis Dutt Memorial Charitable Trust, besides, of course, being a wife and mother, and also together with her two siblings carry forward the legacy of two iconic Indian film stars, Nargis and Sunil Dutt. To share her story and her journey, she joins us next on Drive Mumbai.
94.3 Radio 1.
Firstly, I have to say welcome to Drive Mumbai.
Thank you so much.
You know, we had Sanjana Kapoor as our superwoman as well, and she spoke of legacy being a thing that's both daunting and exhilarating at the same time. Your comments to that?
I completely agree with her. I think it is daunting because, you know, you're trying to fit into the shoes of your parents, which I don't think you ever land up fitting into them. But you have to kind of create your own identity. And I think that's what I've tried to do. My father was a very larger than life figure. So was my mom. But I spent more time with him, so I think the comparison is directly with my father, and it was extremely daunting for me. People tell you how you have to do the things in a certain way because your father did it. So, you know, these were things I was struggling with constantly in the beginning, but I realized that I have to kind of get out of that shadow. You know, he will always remain with me, and I think I've completely imbibed his values and the way he would like me to work and the way he would want me to be. But I had to create my own niche. I had to create my own identity. And that's what I've tried to do. It is a struggle, and it especially was a struggle in the beginning.
Right. You know, you come from a secular household, two religions. Your marriage, like lakhs of others in our city, in our country, reflects the same, two religions. So
Right.
how do you bridge that difference in religion and cultures? How have the two of you managed to do that in your household?
While I was growing up, you know, we were never bogged down with religion, to tell you the truth. Today, when I look at religion, I kind of take a step back from it because I think it's being used for such wrong reasons. But when I was growing up, we grew up beautifully because we learned to respect each person's beliefs and religion. You know, it was my mother's family was Muslim, my father's family was Hindu, but we celebrated both festivals. We never kind of looked down upon each other or you know, it was more about, you know, sharing these beautiful moments with the family together and making it a happy occasion. And I'm doing the same with my children. You know, I'm married to a Roman Catholic. We have not bogged them down with religion because I think both of us don't have that in us. You know, we respect each other. We respect each other's beliefs. I celebrate Christmas and I celebrate Diwali. And I think that is what our country is all about. It's about
being truly secular.
Truly secular.
Okay, now raising boys, two of them. What are the challenges today for a working mom like yourself?
Oh, what can I say?
I know, that kind of puts us in a spot.
Yes.
It's like, oh my God, I need more hours in a day.
Really, and I think it's never enough. 2005, I lost my father. It was something which had a great impact in my life. When I lost my father, I was pregnant with my son.
Jeez, okay.
He was born in the same year, and I got into politics the same year.
Wow, that was a huge year.
So it was crazy, you know, because my whole life changed in 2005. I became a mom. I got into politics, which I never thought I could ever do. I lost my father, and Owen and myself, my husband and me, we had planned for a very simple life of, you know, raising our kids and doing the simple things that people, really dream of doing. But things changed. And I remember I delivered my son, and 5 days after the delivery, I went out campaigning. And now when I look back and think, I said, I don't know how I did it or where did I get that strength from. And I used to cry, you know, I used to go for my campaign and I had to come back every 2 hours to feed him. And I used to curse, I think, everybody whom I met, especially my husband, that I don't want to do this, you know, I want to be home. And it was terrible. I guess, you know, as a mother, especially a new mom, you're going through so many emotional upheavals and too many things had happened. But, well, that time passed, and in those 10 years I had my second baby as well.
Right.
But yes, it was a constant struggle of trying to do what I'm doing to the best of my ability and yet be a good mom and a good wife and a good homemaker.
We're going to be right back with more from Priya Dutt, Radio 1 Superwoman this evening. To stay with us. This is 94.3 Radio 1. A little past 8:30 this Monday night, we're cruising to Duke Dumont's Ocean Drive on 94.3 Radio 1. Now, we've got ex-MP, social activist, Radio 1 Superwoman this evening, Priya Dutt Ronkan, sharing our space on Drive Mumbai. It's right back to that chat.
94.3 Radio 1.
Let's come to the work that you do as a trustee of the Nargis Dutt Memorial Charitable Trust. Talk to us a little bit about that and what it means to you.
Nargis Dutt Charitable Trust is my third baby. My father was passionate about it. He started it in 1981 after my mom passed away. And we had started focusing purely on equipping rural hospitals with cancer diagnostics equipment.
Right.
So we've given equipment worth more than $3 million to rural hospitals across India. About 10 or 11 years back, I realized we need to set up something here and we need to go beyond just giving equipment, because there is so much happening here as well, and we diversified into health and education.
Okay.
And under health, I continue to work very closely with Tata Memorial Hospital. We are doing a platelet donation drive, create an awareness of how important it is to donate platelets.
Right.
Especially for cancer patients, especially for pediatric patients, who go through very rigorous
Chemotherapy. Yes.
And of course funding chemotherapy for poor patients, things like that. But what is very exciting for me is what we have recently done is have adopted a village in Palghar. Yeah, it's a small tribal village called Sonave. It's only 100 kilometers from Mumbai, and it was really sad to see the condition. We are so close to Mumbai, and yet they are
so removed.
Removed and cut off.
Yeah.
It's made of 12 hamlets, like paras they are called. You'll see about 5 or 6 hamlets are completely cut off. They have no electricity, no water.
It's horrible.
So we decided to take that on and focus on education for the children. And skill development, because there is no skill there. People are jobless. So we are looking at how we can really create a model village which becomes self-sustainable. So we're doing a holistic approach and a holistic kind of work there. We're looking at health, we're looking at education, we're looking at skill development, as well as alternate energy.
Okay.
So we've about given 60 homes solar lighting.
Energy. Okay.
And I have also installed an e-learning system in the school there.
This is shocking. It's just like 100 kilometers away from Mumbai
Just
city.
100 kilometers.
And doesn't this disparity kind of scare you, or
It does,
makes
because
you question?
you realize they are so cut off. But as you keep going further back, more into the hilly areas, there is no accessibility through the road. I was thinking of the movie Manji.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And it is something like that. What is really heartening to see is the children who are so enthusiastic about learning, and are so particular about attending the school. But there is no school up to the 10th there. After 8th, you have to walk about 4-5 kilometers for your higher, for
Education.
9th and 10th. So many girls drop out. So what we plan to do is build 2 classes for 9th and 10th, so that there is one school up to the 10th standard.
Okay.
That way we retain the girls specially and look at skill development for them after that.
That's fantastic. Fantastic work. Your father was Union Minister of Sports and Youth Affairs. Your husband was a sportsman, comes from a family of sporting-oriented individuals. When we take our kids, this is like, personal experience, to state-level meets, the stadia and facilities are shockingly inadequate. Still, it's insane. Private enterprise or corporate, have to pitch in to kind of change things around. Is that the only way out? What's going on at government levels? I mean, you've been in that system.
It's very unfortunate, but the government doesn't pay attention to sport at all. I remember when my father was sports minister, and he was actually asking for more funds for his ministry.
Right.
But the fund allocation for sports is hardly anything, because it's clubbed with youth development and sports. Me personally would feel sports should have a separate ministry on its own. It should become mandatory in schools. You have an IPL and you have ICL and you have XYZ, where corporates are coming together and funding. It's great that we are promoting football. It's great we are promoting cricket. But there is so much more.
Of course,
what about the athletics? Where were the athletes in our country? I've been taking my kids. Both of them are quite inclined to athletics, like their father. So you have to see the stands. They were just like wooden slats there, and it was dirty. So I think basic things. You don't always have to have a public-private partnership. I think it can be run fantastically.
Well, that's Radio 1 Superwoman this evening, Priya Dutt Ronkin. She's sharing our space on Drive Mumbai. We're going to be back with lots more chat to stay connected. Well, this is Erica on Drive Mumbai, and we've got our Radio 1 Superwoman sharing our space this evening. It's ex-MP and social activist Priya Dutt Ronkin. Let's get right back to that chat.
94.3 Radio 1.
As mother of 2 boys, what would you like to see Mumbai City offer them in terms of education?
Space.
Oh my God.
I tried a lot as a member of parliament. I know people listening to this radio program will say, what were you doing while you were a member of parliament? We have tried, and we have actually saved quite a few open spaces.
Yeah.
But it's a very difficult task. Everybody's more concerned about housing. We were encouraging ALMs taking over small spaces and developing it and, taking care of it. all we can do is to help protect
Whatever we do
whatever
have.
we have.
Now, getting a little personal, a bit about you and your favorite memories with your folks and your family.
There are plenty. People always ask me that, my God, your parents were, Sunil
Legends.
Dutt and Legend and
Yeah.
Nargis. But while growing up, we never ever knew how legendary my parents were. And I hadn't even seen my mom's films. For me, she was just mom. I spent a very short time with her. I mean, she died when I was just about 13 years old. My memories of her were very, very much like, I guess, what my kid must be thinking about me today. It's like just mom picking me up from school, dropping me. I'm crying to her for things, or, I spent most of my time with my father. My father was a very strict disciplinarian.
Okay.
I remember when my mom was there, she was the cool one, and my father was this,
The good cop, bad cop.
Yeah, good cop, bad cop. Now being a parent, I understand what the role is.
So are you a good cop or are you a bad cop?
I'm a good cop. It was really funny because my father wanted us home before sunset, and we were kids who were playing on the street outside my house. So we
When you could play on the
when
streets.
I could play.
Yeah.
So, and I keep telling my kids, we used to be running around on these streets.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So, and we used to be sitting in this neighbor's house, and my friends, so we were a whole gang of kids and sitting around. And we could hear his horn because there was hardly no buildings, there were just little bungalows. So he was coming down the hill, and he used to
Honk.
honk. And we could hear that horn, and we knew, oh God, Dad's coming home, and we used to run home and sit and wait for him as if we've been waiting here all night just for you to come home. And my mom backed us up on that.
Okay.
And my dad was very particular because when he was home, he didn't want television. He wanted that quality time, dinner on the table together, and things like that. But he changed so much after my mom passed away, and he kind of understood that he had to take the role of a mother and a father. So he kind of became very chilled out. He tried to understand, we as teenagers, what we wanted. We needed to go out once in a while and things like that. So he was really wonderful.
I'm going to ask, how did Owen pop the question?
It was really funny because Owen and me were friends, and we were working together. I was working at Spastic Society of India, and we were going to have a fundraiser. And somebody said, we know Fountainhead, great company, and a very good set of people. And so I said, yeah, okay, let's meet them, and maybe they'll help us out with this. Owen came to meet me, and we kind of hit it off and became good friends. Nothing happened for a year.
Okay.
After that year, we started going out, and it was really funny. I don't think we both could tell each other. We were a little scared. So there used to be these hints on SMS.
Oh,
So nothing very romantic, really. One day he just popped the question, and then it was the daunting task of telling my father. Yeah, so that was a big one for me.
And if your sons want to become an actor, what will you say to them?
I wouldn't say much, actually. I guess
Be a good one.
Yeah, as long as they're good actors. And I think Owen and me both want to raise them. I think most importantly is what we can give them is a good education.
True.
Then it's up to them of how they want to lead their lives or what they want to do.
What's in your iPod at the moment?
You know which one I like?
Which one?
Which I heard on your radio channel, Charlie Puth.
Oh my God, yeah. Let's get it on.
I've been really enjoying his music.
Marvin Gaye?
Marvin Gaye,
Yeah, okay. Fantastic. I mean, so I'm going to play it out for you. This one's dedicated to you and your little love story with your husband. It's and it's got a great starting line. It says, let's Marvin Gaye and get it on. So it's for you and your husband, and it's from us here at 94.3 Radio 1. Electronic dance music pioneer Georgia Moroder there, twisting that Susan Vega classic hit Tom's Diner with a little help from Britney Spears there. This is 94.3 Radio 1, and it's right back to Radio 1 Superwoman this evening. It's Priya Dutt Ronkan. Let's bring her back on to wrap up our chat.
94.3 Radio 1.
The journey thus far, what have been the most significant milestones for you?
I think the most significant milestone would be my journey with my father to Amritsar. I was about 19 years old in college. I was completely lost, like any other kid is, not knowing what to do. I was going to finish my graduation, and then what? I didn't know. He walked from Mumbai to Amritsar for peace. And today actually I was going to tweet that we need another messiah of peace like him, because when he did that, he did it out of sheer love in his heart for the people in his country. And he made up his mind one fine day and said, I'm going to walk because I know I can make a difference. I said, I will join you in that walk. And it took us 78 days from Mumbai to Amritsar. And I think it was the greatest experience of my life. Nothing can beat it. The way I saw this country and the way I saw the people of this country through the different states as we walked And I realized, my God, there is so much diversity. You know, we sitting in the cities don't even realize the vastness of this country.
Oh, what's going on? Like
And
you
what's
mentioned,
going on, yeah.
100 kilometers away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it was not just walking, you know, we were interacting with people on the way constantly and seeing their simplicity, so I think that was a turning point in my life. It was maybe the 5 years of college which I did rolled up in
Yeah.
178 days.
Yeah.
That was the kind of learning I had. Of course, after that, there was my father's death. And then that entire change and that turn, as I told you about.
You're wearing many hats then.
Yeah.
Which one fits best? There's mother, there's wife, there's sister, there's social activist, there's politician. Which one fits best?
Mother and social activist.
Your father left you that wonderful legacy. What's the legacy that you'd like to leave for your kids?
I don't want to kind of put them in a bind of
Is that too much baggage, you think? It's
too much, I think.
Yeah.
Say, like you asked me a question, if they become actors,
Yeah.
they will have this huge legacy behind them which they'll have to kind of live up to. You know, it is hugely difficult.
It is.
You know, my only prayers for them is that they grow up to be good human beings, have the right principles in their life. I'm sure if they turn out to be boys like that, they'll create their own legacy.
Wonderful. As we wrap up, a Diwali message for my Radio 1 listener.
I want to tell all the listeners that this Diwali, I think, is the Diwali of giving. And let's not spend money on firecrackers and
Too much noise.
too much noise and gifting people things they don't want. You would rather donate whatever money you're going to give to someone who already has so much to someone who doesn't. This Diwali, open your hearts and give.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks.
Good luck with everything and the fabulous work that you're doing.
Thanks, Erica.
And,
Thanks.
and
And I want to say one more thing. I'm registered for the Standard Chartered Marathon. So I hope people
Okay.
support me on that.
We're going to see you
for
Friday.
our charity.
Okay.
Yes.
That's great. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Erica.